Coming up shortly, Nigerian teenage sensation Hafiz Umar Ibrahim officially begins Chelsea trials, and set to remain with the squad and train with the first team over the next few weeks. Now 3 Chelsea players are at highest risk of 2-game suspension ahead of Burnley clash. Continue watching as the main content follows. A like for this video would be greatly appreciated. Subscribe and hit the bell icon to support our good works. Now Chelsea have given a trial to 18-year-old Nigerian Wonderkid Hafiz Umar Ibrahim. The striker met up with Mauricio Pochettino and the Chelsea squad at Cobham earlier this week. After undergoing strength and conditioning exercises in the gym, Ibrahim trained with the first team on Thursday. He is set to remain with the squad on trial over the next few weeks. Before being invited to London, Ibrahim was on the verge of joining Norwegian side Bodo Glimt. While he was waiting for his flight to Norway, the teenager was notified that Chelsea had expressed an interest in him, but he initially didn't believe it. As he boarded the plane, he then received a video call from Joe Shields, Chelsea's co-director of recruitment and talent, and Raheem Sterling. Ibrahim travelled to Bodo and trained with the squad, but quickly decided to take his chance in West London. Before flying to England, the striker scored 10 goals in 6 games at the Viareggio Cup, a youth tournament that took place in Italy. Should he sign for Chelsea, Ibrahim is expected to join partner club Strasbourg on loan in France. However, if he isn't handed a contract, clubs in Spain and Italy will be ready to swoop. The striker currently plays for Ojodu City in Nigeria. Now 3 Chelsea players are at highest risk of 2-game suspension ahead of Burnley clash. The Blues will host Vincent Kompany's side, and Mauricio Pochettino will hope for a final push to make a shout for potential European places going into the business end of the season. Burnley are relatively struggling to replicate their championship form in the Premier League, and this, at least on the books, is a must-win game for the hosts. However, multiple players are at risk of suspensions going into Saturday's kickoff. Nicolas Jackson will have to watch his feet against Burnley, as the 22-year-old centre-forward has accumulated a tally of 9 yellow cards this season and is only 1 booking away from a 2-game suspension. According to the Premier League rules, any player booked 10 times in the club's first 32 Premier League matches of the season will be suspended for 2 games. Burnley will be Chelsea's 28th game of the ongoing campaign, and this means Nicolas Jackson will have to look over his shoulders for the next 5 games to avoid suspension. Alongside the Senegalese, Chelsea summer signing Moises Caicedo is also at risk of a 2-game suspension as he has been booked 8 times this season, while Cole Palmer is approaching the 10 with a 7 yellow tally. Chelsea play Arsenal in a London derby on April 23 at the Emirates Stadium in the Blues' 32nd game of the Premier League season, which will be the cut-off for 2-match suspension risk. 3 days before their trip to North London, Chelsea travel to Wembley Stadium to face Manchester City in the FA Cup semi-final. Pochettino's men face Everton at home before the 2 fixtures, and if any of Jackson, Caicedo, Palmer, or any other Chelsea player were to pick their 10th yellow card of the season, they would miss both the Arsenal away fixture and the trip to Villa Park, as the suspension would not carry over to the FA Cup. Chelsea will attempt to extend a club record scoring run when they play host to Burnley on Saturday. They will attempt to extend their unbeaten run to 5 matches in all competitions. The Blues will also be hoping to extend their Premier League scoring run against Burnley, which currently represents their best goal-scoring streak against one team in the competition. That club record streak began with a 3-0 victory in the first ever Premier League meeting between the 2 sides in August 2009. The Blues continued that impressive scoring record in October's reverse fixture, with Cole Palmer, Raheem Sterling and Nicolas Jackson all getting on the scoresheet in a comfortable 4-1 victory. Chelsea's goal-scoring exploits have helped them win 12, draw 4 and lose only 1 of their 17 Premier League meetings with the Clarets. Not only can Chelsea extend a club record, but they also have the chance to find the net in a 12th successive top-flight game for the first time since 2019. The Blues may be firing on all cylinders at one end of the pitch, but they're struggling to keep their opponents at bay in the defensive third. Despite being unbeaten in 4 competitive games, Mauricio Pochettino will be concerned by the fact his side have shipped 8 goals during that period. Those shaky defensive displays have contributed to Chelsea conceding at least 2 goals in each of their last 4 home matches in all competitions. The West London club are now at risk of letting in multiple goals in 5 consecutive matches for the first time in 33 years. Now former Chelsea striker Fernando Torres returned to Liverpool to shadow Jurgen Klopp yesterday, while the team were in training ahead of the game against Brighton on Sunday. Torres, who was a Liverpool player from 2007 until 2011, is currently managing the under-19s at Atletico Madrid, was at the Reds training ground on Friday to meet players like Mo Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Shadow Klopp. The 40-year-old was invited to oversee training ahead of Brighton, with the intention to give him first-hand management experience from Klopp and assistant manager Pep Lijnders before the German gaffer leaves the club at the end of the season. Torres told the club's formerly Twitter page, "I've had the opportunity to see how everything works from the inside, which is great. I'm a big fan of Jurgen and his staff and all around the training facility, which is very different than when I was here. So obviously the club grows a lot, and I have the chance to see why. There are many reasons. It's amazing to be here and to be able to meet with Jurgen and Pep and all the staff to learn and try to understand the Liverpool way." Last weekend, Torres joined some of Liverpool's heroes of yesteryear for the Legends game against Ajax, in which he scored the Reds' final goal in a 4-2 victory after a second-half comeback against the Dutch side. Now Chelsea have been told how much they should raise by player sales during Euro 2024 to avoid profit and sustainability rules headache. Chelsea have been at the centre of FFP drama since Todd Boehly took over the reins at Stamford Bridge. The Blues have spent nearly £1 billion since May 2022, although they have also generated hundreds of millions in player sales. This has been complemented by the club's struggle to make an impact on the pitch, which has had a domino effect on the financial incomings at the bridge. Premier League clubs have clamped down on excessive financial breaches, as Everton and Nottingham Forest have faced consequences due to non-compliance with profit and sustainability rules. Premier League CEO Richard Masters spoke about how Chelsea is under investigation for breaches of their financial fair play rules under the previous owner Roman Abramovich. Multiple players have been linked with a move away from Stamford Bridge, and football finance expert Kieran Maguire estimates a rough figure of £100 million that the club needs to generate in player sales going into the off-season. I don't know how you can view the financial situation for Chelsea in 2023-24 and reach a conclusion that they won't be forced to sell before June 30th, or at least try the best given the Nottingham Forest decision, said Maguire, who spoke to CBS Sports. When it is suggested that Chelsea needs to get £100 million from player trading in that 2-week window when the Euros are going on, that seems right to me. To some transfer stories, Liverpool have entered the race to sign Sporting Lisbon defender Ousmane Diomande, according to a Portuguese newspaper O Jogo. The Portuguese newspaper claims the list of interested clubs has increased with the Reds and Newcastle having joined the likes of Chelsea, Arsenal and Bayern Munich in pursuing the 20-year-old. It is believed that the Reds were originally scouting Diomande's teammate Gonçalo Inácio, but it appears they are now weighing up a bid for the Ivorian as well. However, the centre-back won't be available on the cheap. Sporting only signed him from FC Midtjylland in January last year, and they included a £68 million release clause in his contract. The Liga Portugal leaders are expected to demand that any club pay Diomande's buyout fee up front in full, with no room for manoeuvre in terms of instalments. Respected journalist Fabrizio Romano has made it clear on more than one occasion that the Reds scouting department have been looking at options to strengthen the middle of defence. With Joel Matip expected to leave Anfield when his contract expires in June, reinforcements will be needed at centre-back, with Diomande seemingly one of the options being considered. Arsenal are looking to strengthen their attacking ranks next season. In preparation, Gunners sporting director Edu has compiled a 10-man shortlist of strikers including Chelsea, Man United and Real Madrid targets that he wants to sign in the summer transfer window, according to a report from the Daily Mirror. While Arsenal already have 4 players in their team who can occupy the centre-forward position, Gabriel Jesus, Eddie Nketiah, Kai Havertz and Leandro Trossard, they all have their own issues. Havertz and Trossard are often put to their best use in other roles, while Nketiah perhaps isn't up to the standard that Mikel Arteta would like him to be. Jesus, meanwhile, is the best of the bunch, but his inconsistent form, coupled with his less than desirable injury record, make him an unreliable option at best. Due to this, it makes perfect sense for the Gunners to add quality strikers to their squad in the summer. Perhaps the most notable player on the list is Napoli hitman Victor Osimhen. The Nigerian international star is expected to leave Glazuri in the summer, with a slew of clubs interested in snapping him up, including Manchester United, Chelsea, PSG and Real Madrid. As well as Osimhen, stars such as Brian Brobby, Victor Gyokeres, Alexander Isak, Evanilson, Santiago Jimenez, Victor Boniface, Lois Openda, Benjamin Sesko and Ivan Toney are all on the list. Of these names, Toney, Osimhen, Openda and Gyokeres stand out. They are both in the sights of Chelsea, which could lead to a fierce bidding war between the two bitter rivals. Meanwhile, according to acclaimed journalist David Ornstein, Arsenal are unlikely to target Victor Osimhen this summer. The Athletic's David Ornstein said that Benjamin Sesko and Victor Gyokeres are more realistic targets for the North London side. As previously reported and widely documented, Benjamin Sesko and Victor Gyokeres are admired, as is Evan Ferguson, but the price Brighton would want and the season he has had perhaps makes him less likely at the moment, said Ornstein. He continued, "I don't see it being a Victor Osimhen or Ivan Toney. There will be other options, too. I've seen Alexander Isak linked. Arsenal went for him in the past, but I don't have any information on that at this point." Chelsea are allegedly set to face competition from Serie A giants Inter Milan in the transfer race to sign Atletico Paranaense star Bento ahead of the next campaign. Earlier this Thursday, March 28, Brazilian news outlet UOL claimed that the Blues have added Bento to their summer shopping list. The West London club have been impressed with the 24-year-old goalkeeper's outings for Brazil in their most recent two friendly clashes. Now, according to Italian newspaper La Gazzetta dello Sport, Inter Milan are keen to rope in Bento in the upcoming transfer window. They are hoping to sign the star as an apt potential successor to Jan Sommer. Inter Milan, who signed the aging Sommer from Bayern Munich last summer, are set to offer tough competition to Chelsea as a result. Benfica are also interested in signing the Brazilian, who is valued at £13 million. Bento, whose current contract is set to expire in December 2026, made his senior debut for Atletico Paranaense in November 2020. He has registered 50 shutouts in 148 overall games so far, conceding 153 goals. Thanks for your attention. Subscribe and smash the bell icon so you don't miss any of our daily Chelsea update. Catch us again in our next video. Subscribe and smash the bell icon so you don't miss. Have a wonderful day.